Hey friends, and welcome to training. The very first thing that we're going to do is a human-only exercise to work with our marker mechanics. But before we get to that, let's talk about what is a marker word and why do we need it. So a marker word, in this case we're talking about a positive marker, is a word that we designate to mean that is the behavior that I'm looking for. So anytime our dog does the right thing, the thing that we were hoping they'd do, the thing we're intending to encourage, we can give our positive marker. Now, anytime we give a positive marker, we're also going to give a reward immediately after it. In this case, during our time together, we're going to work with food, sometimes kibble, sometimes higher value treats, but we're always going to work with food as our reward. So we're going to say our marker word, and then we're going to give a piece of food. What we really want is for the marker word to become a word that your dog is excited to hear. Oftentimes, if they're not facing you and you say that marker word, they'll spin right around because they're anticipating a food reward comes after it. So that means that the order in which we introduce this is very, very important. We don't want our dog to be looking for a reward so much as listening for that marker word and then looking for the reward. What I mean by the order of things is we don't want to be reaching into our treat pouch, rustling around our treats, and then saying yes. Because what we've said is null and void at that point. Your dog heard you rustling in the treat pouch, your dog watched you rustle in your treat pouch, and they were already anticipating that reward. So the exercise that we're gonna do is gonna help us start to discipline ourselves to say the word and then reach for the food. This is something that you will always be working on. I am still working on this. I will mess this up inevitably in my demo videos because we humans are complex thinkers. We're already thinking ahead. We already know we're going to be reaching into our treat pouch, but as much as possible, we want to keep reminding ourselves to focus on that order, that we have to say the word first and then reach for the food. So this is something that we're going to always think about, always remind ourselves of, but we're not going to stress over it because it is never going to be perfect. So don't beat yourself up over this. Do not stress over this. But I do encourage you to take a few minutes to work on this because the more it becomes muscle memory, the less you're gonna have to actually think about it. All right, here we go. Okay, so in this exercise, we are gonna start with our hands at home base. So in the video, you'll see that my hands are on the table, folded one on top of another. That is home base. So you are gonna say your marker word. In this case, I am using yes. If you have a different word that you've already been using, or if you have a word that more naturally rolls off your tongue, like good, let me know. Otherwise, I'll continue to coach you to say yes. So I have my hands together, and then I'm gonna say my marker word, yes. And then once I've said my marker word, only then am I gonna lift my hand, grab a treat out of one bowl, and put it into another. Now, I am using Apple Jacks. You can use cereal, you can use whatever you want for this. It doesn't have to be dog treats because these aren't going to the dog. It's just for you. So you're gonna have your hands flat on the table. You're gonna say your marker word yes, and only then are you gonna pick up a hand, pick up a piece of food, and then put it into the other bowl. The other bowl represents your dog. So ultimately you'll be reaching into your treat pouch, giving it to your dog. But for this exercise, you're gonna have your hands folded flat in front of you. You're gonna say yes. You're gonna pick up a piece of food from one bowl and put it into the other and return your hands to home base. Yes. 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 Last but not least, I recommend that you film yourself doing this exercise like I just did there. You don't have to send that to me, but it's super helpful for you to look back and watch your own video just to make sure that you're getting your timing right. If you can practice that once a day for the next few days, you'll be in great shape to start training next week.